Hey, here's evidence for God, and it's going to get more convincing each time. First is Anselm's Ontological Argument, and it goes like this. The first thing you need to do, think of the greatest possible being in your mind, God. It's better to exist in real life than just in the mind, and so if we're only thinking of the greatest possible being in our mind, then it's not really the greatest possible being that we're thinking about. You know, a God who's real. And so if God's the greatest being, then he must exist in reality too. Second, the argument from conscience. Even people without the Bible know right from wrong. God has placed a light inside all of us. A conscience isn't a human invention, it's a divine compass placed inside of us to pull us in the right direction. That's why we feel guilt and shame when we do the wrong thing. And it points to a standard outside of ourselves, a judge above us. Third, we have the unmoved mover, popularized by Aquinas, and it goes like this. Everything that moves has been moved by something else, and that can't go on forever. If I pass my water bottle to an infinite number of people before I pass it to you, would it ever get to you? Of course, the answer is no. Infinity doesn't work in reality, and so there needs to be a first unmoved mover who gets everything else moving. Or a first domino that sets the chain off. In other words, the first domino is God. And then we have the presuppositional argument. Manson famously declared that the atheist loses before he even shows up to the debate. That's not him being arrogant. Greg Banson's just recognizing that the atheist needs to borrow from the Christian worldview in order to have a debate in the first place, thus losing the debate. How can the atheist account for the immaterial laws of logic given his materialistic worldview? The answer, he can't. Why should he trust his own thinking if he's just matter in motion acting on chance? He shouldn't. But the Christian can account for the immaterial, unchanging, universal laws of logic because we believe in an all-present, immaterial, all-knowing, all-powerful God who made the world. And if the atheistic worldview cannot account for the laws of logic or morality or induction in science, then how can it possibly be true? So there you go, 4 arguments for God. Tell me what you think.